Thank you, Paul. Good day to you. Welcome to another episode of
Sunday Chat.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, bloody thank you. And thank you to you, the viewer. Because without you, there wouldn't be a bloody show. What the hell?
Well, there might be.
Well, I don't think there would.
Well, we could do it and nobody watches.
Well, I
we'd
wouldn't
mostly give up.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I think unless 1 million people watch this episode, I'll give up.
Oh, Paul. I think that's a little bit unrealistic, seeing as we're such a small, intimate channel. Not intimate in that way.
No, that's
Well,
OnlyFans. Yeah.
I've got my Freddy Krueger jumper on. Except it's not red and green.
So it's not a Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, but it's the same style.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, I just need knives for fingers now.
Who was that? Brad Pitt, was it?
Brad Pitt?
No, who was in it?
No, not Brad Pitt. It was, oh God,
Leonardo.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, yeah.
Yeah, he got murdered, Johnny Depp.
He got clawed into a bed, didn't he?
Paul, acting as though you've seen it lots of times.
No,
You've
I've
only
seen it once. Absolutely.
I mean, really, Paul.
I don't think you need to see that film lots of times.
Oh, I used to love it. Nightmare on Elm Street, one of my favourite films.
I think I've seen it twice, actually.
It was genuinely frightening and spooky when it came out.
Right, okay.
They took it a little bit too far with Freddy 7 or whatever, I don't know.
Well, it's same as the Halloweens, isn't it? They sort of went on and on.
They did,
Yeah.
but no, it's a great movie. It's Scryish. So, yes, welcome.
Oh, yeah, just welcome. Yeah.
I need a tissue.
Why?
No, I do. I've got a bit of a runny nose.
Oh.
I know, I just can't go on. Well, it's sort of one of those weeks. I think it's temperature changes. 1 minute it's warm, next minute
It's cold.
It's cold, and Doodah and Lala.
Yeah, Doodah in La La Land. Yeah.
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 Well, it's felt a bit La La Land this week, to be honest with you, Paul. It's been a busy week.
It has. It has.
You know, just getting on with stuff, things happening around us, like
everything.
a doodah and a la la and a thingamajig.
Ding dong.
Oh, don't say ding dong.
No, that goes.
Bloody
Oh
woman.
yes, that's what we watched
Oh, that
as well.
bloody glow up. That bloody woman.
Prosthetics.
Prosthetics. Prosthetics. It's like people that say anaesthetic.
Anaesthetic, yeah.
It's anaesthetic.
Yeah.
Prosthetic.
Yeah.
Not
there we
prosthetic. You
No.
tit.
are. No.
Oh, she drives me up the wall, that woman.
She does drive him up the wall, as you can see. They most of me have no idea who we're talking about. It's the La La Ding Dong woman in Glow Up.
But
Yeah.
the thing that annoys me, and I'm just going to clear this up now, they say things that are so... Well, I won't say it then. I won't give you the pleasure, because Paul's just spoilt it like he spoils everything.
Okay, I'll zip it then.
She states the bleeding obvious and then contradicts herself all the time.
Regularly, yeah.
And she's meant to be a makeup expert.
Well, she is. I mean, I think we should do a series of where we take these things off, Richard and I, and possibly Vivi take these things off. Well, what I'm saying is a piss take, basically. Of them.
No.
I think they would be quite good because she's got her big, spyglass, magnifying glass, and she always goes in like this, and then he always goes like that. They have their things, yeah. It's frustrating.
In the words of Two Unlimited,
no.
I'm not doing any more video series. I haven't got the time.
Oh,
we haven't got the time.
No, we don't have the time. We'll come on to that later.
So let's get on with the bloody show, Paul, before it all descends into complete and utter chaos.
Weather.
No. welcome.
Oh, welcome, yeah.
Welcome.
Haven't we done that yet?
And welcome to new subscribers who've recently joined us here on Richard and Paul. And remember, if you want it all, watch Richard and Paul.
Yeah, though you're not going to get piss take videos.
And first of all, you shush now, Paul. Really? Zip it, bitch. So first of all, we'd like to say very happy birthday to a couple of our viewers. So, happy birthday, Andy. Yes, I believe it's your 50th birthday. Enjoy your holiday in Fuengirola. That's Fuengirola. Have I said that right?
I think you said that right, yeah. The good thing is you haven't said it wrong, have you? That's the good thing.
No, I'm sure one of my friends used to call it
Finger hole.
Funky roller.
Right. I was thinking of something completely different.
Fuengirola.
Yeah.
And also happy birthday to David as well, who's 39.
Again.
Same age as me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a super, super birthday in Fuengirola.
Or
Is it
one.
Spain, Fuengirola?
I have no idea. Is it, or is it an island somewhere? Not on an island, but I don't know. It's a place in a Spanish-speaking area of the world.
Fuerteventura.
Isn't that Canary Islands?
I don't know, Paul. I've never been.
We don't know these things. We don't travel outside of like going to Vivi and going to the Chilterns. So we did go to Portugal a couple of times, didn't we? And
well, I went once with you.
Oh, with me, yeah. I went a few times because we were trying to set up a business down there.
Anyway,
not us, but yeah.
Whatever. So yes, many happy returns.
I remember going to Ibiza when I was 13. That was my first sort of foreign holiday.
I went to Mallorca.
And
yes.
the most exciting thing, apart from being bitten by a squid, was the salt pans and the sort of mills on the salt pans there. That was sort of really interesting. That was before Ibiza became a party island.
I didn't know squids had teeth.
Yeah.
They've got teeth.
What, they're sort of like octopuses, and they got their little clawy...
I thought they had a beak.
Well, yeah, it's beaky, teethy things. Yeah, it's a bit like a parrot.
Oh, and it bit you. What were you doing to it, Paul?
I went, oh, there's a thing down there.
And it went,
and it went, sort of nibble. Like
I've seen a few videos
on my toe.
Octopus. You know, people that look after octopus and how they communicate. And they are like aliens, aren't they, really?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, a bit.
Really, don't you think? I mean, it's as though they were catapulted from another universe onto the planet. Because they're not like anything else,
No,
are they?
not really, no.
But apparently the evolutionary line can be traced.
There we are. It can be.
I believe. So
Yeah.
they're not aliens. But anywho.
I think they're
all
very cute.
interesting.
And they're no longer a sort of singular plural, are they? Because I think people say octopuses now when they mean
more than one
octopus. Yeah.
Anywho, that's all lovely, thank you. So yeah, it has been a busy week this week. There's been quite a lot going on. You've had to take the car in for its yearly MOT.
Weather.
I was getting onto that. But it's been a busy week. You had to take it in for its MOT, but also to have the leak looked at.
Yes.
Because it has been very wet. There's my link.
Brilliant link. Brilliant link.
You just won't trust me, will you?
No.
I'm good at linking things
I think you're very good, Richard.
Thank
yes, so weather-wise, we have had
Very wet.
major storm Wednesday, Thursday.
If you've not seen my storm video, go and have a look. I think most of you have.
And it did absolutely chuck it down that evening or morning. And then we have had more rain as well. I think
Rain virtually every day.
rain every day and cold nights. It's down to still 6 degrees at night, which, you know, really isn't helping at the allotment. It's not, but hey ho, that's how it is. It is warm. Oh, they keep on saying it's warmer during the days. I mean, at the moment it's supposed to be about 18 degrees outside.
Well, it is 18 degrees outside.
It doesn't feel as though it's 18 degrees outside.
Because our house is cooler
No,
inside.
outside it doesn't feel as though it's 18 degrees.
Anyway, get
You
on.
know,
Get on with it,
but
Paul.
anyway,
Make it funny.
it looks as though it's going to be around sort of 10, 11 degrees at night for sort of next week and going into a few weeks. But if you look at the long-term weather forecast going towards the back end of May, they're still saying some chilly nights. You know, it's just... and then unsettled wet weather in the south for later in the month. Could do without that. Could do without more rain. Got enough rain. Had enough rain. Don't want any more rain. Not for a while.
Thank you, Paul. How interesting. So glad you made that segment entertaining for everybody. How lovely. So yeah, it's been a week of car things this week. Paul has had to manage it because I've been working.
Yeah.
So we had...
So in the UK you have to have an MOT every single year, and that basically checks that your car is roadworthy.
Yeah.
And at the same time as that, we usually have a service with ours, and it's usually a sort of a mini service, though because we've reached a certain mileage on the car, it was quite a major service that was needed.
50,000 miles.
50,000 miles. So that was done, and then there's also the leak that the guy has looked at, and he believes it's the seal that goes around the back.
I'm not sure about that.
Because when we open the boot is a sort of big piece of glass, tempered glass obviously, and it comes on, when it closes tightly on the seal. Apparently it's that seal that has gone.
I couldn't
We'll
see
see.
anything around the seal. That's the problem when we tested it out with water.
So we'll see on that. And then it needed a new clutch as well. So that has been done. And the air conditioning also needs to be done.
So for people that don't know what a clutch is, if you're an automatic driver, which I know a lot of people in the States are, the clutch is the pedal that allows you to change gear. It disengages the engine while you change gear.
Yeah.
So they do go. And of course, if they go and you're driving, it means you can't change gear.
Absolutely.
Which is not helpful, really.
So most of that has happened this week.
Yeah.
The air conditioning still needs to be looked at, and the seal has been ordered to be sort of done next week. So there we are. So this month is proving to be an expensive car month. I was talking to Vivi about this the other day. You know, I mean, it's with insurance and things like that. Even a small car is at least £1,000 really to £1,500 a year if you're keeping it roadworthy and good before you even pay for your petrol and things.
I mean, having an older car, it does cost maintenance money because things break, things go, and you've got to sort it out. I mean, which is why we put money aside for that reason. We always have a fund available to do these things, you have to. If you don't, then you're a fool, And we need the car. Paul needs it to go down to Vanessa's.
Yeah.
And we also need it to do our outings and various bits and pieces that we do.
We like doing.
We're not heavy car users, but it's very, very handy, even in London. Things like, going to the garden centre to buy a couple of bags of compost.
Well, am I allowed to do that?
No. But only under my supervision.
Right, okay.
The car will only take a couple of small bags of compost,
It will,
really.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that big a car. But, you know, for things like that, you can't do that on the bus. That's my point.
No,
You know.
no.
So it is handy to have a vehicle.
And going to Vanessa, I mean, I know that I say it takes quite a long time driving there. But even if I was going by public transport, I'd be leaving here about 9 o'clock in the morning, getting a bus, then a train, then another train, then another bus.
Yeah.
And that journey would be 2.5 hours there, and it would be about 2.5 hours back as well. So, yeah.
Anywho, Paul, let's give an update on the house. And we've got a little bit of news for you about the person doing our work. Well, I mean, I couldn't quite believe it, Paul. He's kind of like an actor and a model. And he's on the Google.
It was very bizarre, actually, because I was at For Her Sake on Wednesday, and this lady came in who we got talking. She said she was a gardener. I said about the allotment. She asked where it was. I said it was in West London. It turns out that a couple of decades ago, she lived next door to the allotment, and she had an allotment there herself. We got chatting, and I said about the house being done up, and we said who it was, and she turned out to be a fan of a particular series of films, and she knew him, this art decorator, from these films. And it turned out that it was...
He's in a Star Wars film. He was in a Star Wars film.
He was Princess Leia's bodyguard or something.
No, he was a commander, a rebel commander in The Force Awakens. You can Google him. His name is Simon Bond.
Yeah.
And actually, he has agreed to be interviewed.
Oh, you can interview him. Yeah.
I think I should do. What is it like? What's it like to be in a Star Wars movie? Don't you think something like that?
In fact, there's three other people around here that we could ask that as well, because they have been in Star Wars movies too.
But they're not doing our house.
No, they're not.
I was like, wow. So I had to, rib him about it, which was great. Yeah, I can't believe it.
There we are.
Star Wars Commander painted our house.
Not in the Star Wars uniform, though.
Well, next week he said he will. He didn't.
Oh dear.
He's a very nice chap.
He is.
Very nice chap.
Absolutely.
So that's all lovely.
Yeah.
So that's moving along nicely. The scaffold is due to come down on Tuesday. That doesn't mean it's finished, because there's ground level stuff that needs to be done. No, he's done that bit up the top that I talked about as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So, because I'm keeping my beady eye on him.
Well, on the work that's being done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all very good. We're very pleased with the result. We will do a before and after, because we do have an exterior shot of the house.
Yeah, I took some.
Before, didn't we? So we will do a before and after. I'm very pleased with the colour, although we did have to have it mixed.
Yeah.
Because the colour no longer exists. This is the colour that we used last year to tart up certain bits, and we were very pleased with the colour, but it no longer exists in that paint range, so we've had to have a sample scanned and then the colour mixed, which costs more money. So, but that's okay.
Typical.
But it's looking good.
It's the usual thing, isn't it? You get sort of, you find a colour in a colour chart range, you really like it, you use it, then you go to get it again to find that it's now not in the range anymore. It's been discontinued.
Yeah, I've said that.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's
the
same with so many things. It's so frustrating.
Do you like my faux suede? It's my spring look.
Oh, honestly,
Lilac.
go on about me going off at a tangent.
Faux suede.
Oh, dear.
I like it. It's not new. It's old. I had it in stock.
The cats have weed on it.
Oh, several times.
Yeah.
It's washable.
Yeah.
Is it? Did they wee on this one?
Yeah, it's been washed.
Did I wash it in the machine?
Yeah, you did.
Did it fit in the machine?
It just fitted. It did make the machine go boom, 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 boom a little bit. I
So
remember
Paul, oh, my life has been run by other people all week.
that. Yeah,
Can you go on?
I can just about go on. I just do feel this week as though I've not been in control of virtually a single hour of my working day. I really don't. It's sort of it's got to here for me. And even things like when the car was taken, the guy said, lovely guy said, I'll drop it back to you, and it you know how something is going, I'll be there in like 15 minutes and it becomes an hour and a quarter, and it's just been one of those weeks where the things that I'd wanted to get done and had space in the week to get done, I haven't got done because I've been waiting on other people, basically. That is what's happened this week. It's been a week of waiting on other people and just getting frustrated, really frustrated. You know, even to the point of I'm not sure whether I'll get to the allotment today because we're filming this a bit later than normal because I had to go and pick the car up this morning. So it's Saturday now. I had to pick up the car this morning. So that added another hour and a half to my day, and it just shifts everything along.
How much did it add to your day?
An hour and a half.
Are you going to maybe say that again?
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say it added an hour and a half for an hour and a half. That's what I'm going to do. And I know other people's lives are far more frantic and far more challenging and far more difficult than mine is and ours is at the moment. But sometimes when you really feel that you've carved out time and then that time seems to be being pulled in by other people, it's so frustrating. But hey-ho, hey-ho. I can go on, and I will go on.
So we've reached that point in the show where I interrupt Paul and stop him from going on and on and on. And choose our word of the day. So this is completely unrehearsed. I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce this word, but today is the 5th of May. So I'm choosing the word for the 5th of May. And let's see what the word is. Oh, Jesus. Give me strength. Desiderium.
Desiderium.
Desiderium. Desiderium. Desiderium. D-E, S for sugar. I-D-E-R-I-U-M for mother. Are we ready, folks?
Is it two mental states that sit next to each other?
I have no idea because there's a full page of words.
Oh, don't do the full page.
Well, I did last week and nobody complained.
Oh, here we go.
If you once had a thing, perhaps a favourite t-shirt or inamoratus, what does that mean?
So it's two words.
No, I'll start again. If you once had a thing, perhaps a favourite t-shirt or inamoratus, that is now lost to you and you think of it with longing, you are experiencing a desiderium.
So is it a loss of something physical that one loved?
It comes from the Latin desidere, desidere, to miss or long for, which evocatively the OED suggests might be etymologically connected with side, sider, star.
Right.
S-I-D-E-R. Cider, cedar,
Sidder.
star. This is far too intellectual for me. In brackets, if you are afflicted by loss, have your stars abandoned you?
No, I get this. I mean, I understand
Am I reading
that.
it in a way that's understandable?
I sort of think so. Basically, it is.
Shush! Not finished. Jonathan Swift knew the pangs of it well, having moved from London to Dublin, and thereafter, as he wrote to Pope, apologetically. That doesn't mean to Pope.
To Pope, not a writer.
Oh, I thought it meant the Pope.
He would say to the Pope.
I did. Pope, who's Pope?
He's another writer, I'm sure.
I know, I'm thinking, who is it? As he wrote to Pope apologetically,
I know there's going to be one person shouting the name at the screen at the moment.
Yeah. Yes, an intellectual person.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm starting this bit again. Jonathan Swift knew the pangs of it well, having moved from London to Dublin, and thereafter, as he wrote to Pope apologetically, having not replied to him for a while, when I leave a country without probability of returning, I think as seldom as I can of what I loved or esteemed in it, to avoid the desiderium which of all things makes life most uneasy. Swift made his last will on this day in 1740, which included his own epitaph. Here lies the body of Jonathan Swift, Doctor of Sacred Theology, Dean of this cathedral, where savage indignation can no longer tear at his heart. Pass on, traveller, and, if you can, emulate his tireless efforts in defence of liberty.
Lovely.
Well, I mean, not bad considering I've never read it before and it's
No, I think you did very, very
demanding.
well. I think you did very, very well. But basically, it is a longing for something that you have lost. And most probably it's an article rather than a person. I read from that.
Thank you.
And I sort of can get that. I mean, I have got a padded gilet, a blue one, from Tokyo Laundry. I've most probably had it about 12 years. I've always loved it. It's rather torn and battered at the edges now. If you watch A Week at the Plot, you've seen me wear it in the winter. And it makes me look like a tramp, basically, now, because it's so weather-beaten and torn. But I was thinking the other day I'm going to have to say goodbye to it, and when I do say goodbye to it, there will be a tinge of desiderium about that, because it is an article of clothing that I've really rather been happy with.
Well, I've got a pair of silver silk fari trousers that I can never fit into ever again, and when I look at those, I long to be able to wear them again and look perhaps like Olivia Newton-John in Grease, but I never will because they're just too small. Is that the same kind of thing?
No, it isn't, because you haven't given them away.
No, I'm never going to give them away.
There we are. There must be a word for keeping something you'll never ever use again.
Oh, it'll be in that book.
You'll never ever use again.
It'll be in that book, I'm sure.
Just for the memory of it. That must be a slightly different word.
And it'll be unpronounceable.
A tennis racket. That's
My
another
back
thing.
is a bit twingy, Paul. We need to move on and move on quick, bitch.
A tennis racket.
Oh, yeah. Sat down for too
Pair
long.
of shoes. Pair of shoes.
So,
Never a pair of underpants, though. No.
do you want to just continue
No, I've stopped now.
droning on with
I've
drivel?
stopped.
So, it's time for the final segment of the show, which is, what have we watched on television this week? Well, if I could stay awake long enough, I think we'd probably watch a couple more programmes of an evening. But it's been a Tiring week for me. It has been a tiring week, and I've been sort of falling asleep at like 8:30.
Well, that's because the other night when we had that storm, I got up at 4 o'clock and noticed the storm, went back to bed. He then woke up at 4:30, noticed the storm and got up and started filming it.
Well, yeah,
So-
because of you.
Absolutely.
Because you
absolutely.
enjoy watching storms.
Yes, so you did that,
As
and
do
then
I.
it was a long day for you therefore, and you were
Was.
falling asleep, and then the next day you were falling asleep as well. It was, yeah, it just goes on.
So we have watched some television this week.
We watched and completed Red Eye,
Yeah, meh.
which is available on ITVX.
Eh.
No, we really enjoyed
You
it.
speak for yourself.
Well,
I sort of enjoyed parts of it.
He sort of enjoyed parts of it.
But at the end I was like, whatever.
I thought the ending, there were certain bits where it was sort of like, oh, cut that bit. But I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
We've started a new series called Silo on Apple TV, which is about a large silo built underground.
Yeah,
Partially underground. I
we
think.
don't know why, we don't know where. There seems to be a sort of dystopian future in this whole thing where something has happened and humans have had to go to this silo to live. Yeah.
They all are under the impression that the outside is poisonous and will kill them if they go out. And they have some proof of that. It's quite interesting. It's got a few good cast members in
Yeah.
it, surprising cast members. Someone we know is in it, Sophie Thompson.
Yeah.
Rashida Jones. Is it Rashida Jones?
Harriet Walter.
Yeah, there's quite a few English actors.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah. So
yeah.
quite good. Quite enjoying it.
David Oyelowo. I can never remember his name.
So yeah, quite enjoyable. Can recommend it actually. Yeah. Looking forward to the next one. We watched the movie Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. That's on Netflix. It entertained us. There were a few sort of holes in the storyline, but it's essentially George and the Dragon.
Yeah.
Sort of turned on its head a little bit, you know. So we won't say too much about it. It's quite nice to look at, although the styling's a bit all over the place, isn't it?
I mean, if you want to sit in front of the TV and be entertained for a couple of hours, but not really engage too much, then yeah. It was my meh this week. Yeah.
We continue with Professor T, although I did fall asleep, and I'm afraid I know you really enjoy it, but
I enjoy it.
I'm a bit of meh for that as well.
My favourite character, if there is a third series, it looks like my favourite-ish character. No, not my favourite character. One of the characters I like won't be in the next series. I think my favourite two characters are the oldest ones in it, and yeah, anyway.
We continue with Bargain Hunt of a Lunchtime, the show we love to hate.
Well, you love to hate.
I love to shout at it, because,
it's sort of...
more on it.
Yeah.
In places.
They get asked, what do you want, what features do you want in your expert? What do you want your expert to know about? And they go, a knowledge of antiques.
They say the same thing every time.
Like, why ask that question?
Oh, please. And these experts, wow, really?
I love it when they come to say something and they go, and what do you think it's worth? And we go 40 to 60. And then the expert who's been doing this for decades and they have their own auction house and blah, 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 go, I think 40 to 60 pounds. You go, yeah, we knew that. Yeah. That happens a lot, doesn't it?
We continue Pie in the Sky.
Which I have a soft spot for it.
We're enjoying it. It's good. We watched Question Time, and of course this week in the UK, we're having we've had our local council elections in England, but not London. We've had the mayoral, whatever you call it.
So there are lots of councils all over.
Election.
Lots of councils all over the UK, and in England, I think about 107 or 111 of those councils were up for being voted, for the councillors being voted on this year, and basically the Labour has done very well, Conservatives have not done very well, the Greens have done really well, and Independents have done well, and Lib Dems have done well.
But we're still waiting for the results for our London Mayor and also the London Assemblies. We could vote for the Mayor and the London Assemblies. This is nothing to do with members of Parliament.
No.
That would be the general election.
Which is later this year, most likely.
Yes. So where you vote for the Member of Parliament who represents the area in Parliament. It's a bit strange because actually the councils represent the area and control the area. The MPs don't control what goes on within a borough.
No.
It's done by the council itself. They control the dealings, the business of the borough. The MPs, they represent that area in Parliament. So, I don't know, I find the whole system a bit outdated.
I think...
And a bit too layered.
I actually find, I never thought I'd say this, but I find the House of Parliament, particularly the House of Commons, really, in the way that they engage with each other and some of the antiquated ways in which they engage with each other, rather pathetic nowadays. I think it needs to be brought much more up to date. I think have the House of Commons as somewhere that people can visit as a tourist attraction, but build another building which is modern and where they stop all of this braying that goes on, because there's so much braying that goes on in our House of Commons between the MPs and the parties. And I think also one of the things that needs to be allowed in the House of Commons now is for people to say to another Member of Parliament, the Honourable Member of Parliament is lying. Because there is so much dishonesty going on in the House of Commons. It just annoys me. And even I was watching a political programme looking at the results yesterday, and there was a whole host of blatant lies being spouted by mainly Conservative politicians. And I think it's time that all of that really gets called out. If somebody is lying, they are lying, and it needs to be called out.
Well, just have them all hooked up to little lie detectors.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, I think it's outrageous that people can stand at the dispatch box,
blah, blah, blah.
lie, and then not actually have to go back and say, we lied. Anyway, sorry.
Thanks for that, Paul.
I know, but it's, you know, it does frustrate me enormously.
Lovely. Super duper smashing special.
Have we watched anything else?
No, that's it. It's time to say goodbye now.
Bye.
Time to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much. Come again.
Come again soon. We'll be here in a week, and I won't be spouting politics and things.
Hope you've enjoyed it. Watch all the other videos and watch all the adverts all the way through.
Or at least the first 30 seconds of the advert.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Bloody thank you. Take care.
See you very soon.
To the pip.
Bye.
Au revoir.